Here we are. Good morning. We're on the clock. This day today is the 10th of June, and it's Wednesday morning. It's going to be a great day. And so thanks for joining us today. Again, if you're on here, make sure that you let us know you're on. I'll try to recognize you as I can. As you make comments, please let us know that you're here. It's been a great, powerful week this last week. Lots of people got saved. Pastor Robert went into Mexico and brought a team. And they just turned it upside down in Matamoros. So, lots of great things happening. We have, I think, one of our first groups out here at the ranch is girls flag football. And it's sponsored by the NFL. They're really getting into girls sports, which is great. And a young man that I used to coach at Texas City High School named Reggie Rusk is now leading that group, among other things that he does. But he has found 26 young ladies, and they're out here with women coaches and NFL players, and they're out at the ranch partaking in how to train. And I saw them down at the ranch, down at the lake yesterday. They were all fishing, or actually they were just looking at the water, I think, yesterday when they first arrived. No telling what they're going to do today. They're going to train, and they're going to talk about the things of God. It's going to be a good time for them. So if you have a group that needs that type of facilities, we'd love to have you at Jordan Ranch. Come on out and be a part of what we're doing, jordanranch.org. That's what we built here 18 years ago for. And we've seen 180,000 people go through these 22 bedrooms. It's still a 5-star retreat facility, and you need to be a part of that. So today, let me see who's popping on here today. It's good to see you today, Coach Sefcik. Thanks for being on. Kevin, good to have you on here from North Carolina. Clifford Hare from Florida. Cirilio from Texas. Good to see you today. Thank you guys for being supporters of this program. Make sure that you tell us what you think about it. Maybe some topics you'd like for us to cover. We try not to be Marcus, good to see you. We try not to be a dramatic place. We try to just bring the truth. I think the word can stand all by itself. And so we're going to give you some truth today. And what we're talking about has to do with our anniversary. And the anniversary of the church is 30 years. So let me give you some of that. It's going to be happening on Father's Day weekend, June 19th through 21st. And we'd love to invite each one of you to come be with us at Powerhouse Church. It's important that you check us out on the website, get all the information. We're going to be doing some commissioning, handing out swords. I think about 30 different swords. We've done this now every year for about 20 years, maybe longer. And you want to be a part of that on Friday night, and then Saturday night we'll have a big worship night, and Sunday morning we'll have 4 services. So all of those will have to do with people telling stories about the past 30 years of Powerhouse Church. It seems like yesterday when we stepped out and started knocking on doors. My oldest son, who is 38 now, was 9, and he was able to lead the first person to the Lord on our property. And we talked about that just the other day. So lots of great memories that we're going to talk about, and you want to hear some history about the church, especially if you go there. If not, maybe you're building a legacy and you want to see how that looks. So I think you should be a part of what we're doing, and that's coming up next week, I think, week and a half. So be with us on that time, and we'll see what the Lord does. I have a special guest with me this morning, and this guy, you're going to want to hear his history with Powerhouse Church and with the Lord. And I was able to run into him many years ago in New Braunfels, and he was my waiter. And he and I began to talk about the things of God. I could tell he was searching and seeking, and it got a little bit deeper. We met for another place to eat and began to disciple him a little bit as Ed Cole discipled me. And he graduated from college and then at TOU, and then he moved to Katy, and we just happened to have a church in Katy. And so we connected him there, and he's been serving there ever since and has done some incredible things. And his name is Raul Bastillos, and he's going to come on and talk to us now. So, Raul, good to have you today. Thank you for being on the program.
No, thank you for having me, Pastor Watkins. It's an honor. Excited for this.
You bet. Well, you've come a long way in 7 years at Powerhouse Church.
That's right. That's right. It's been a gift, that's for sure.
Well, I remember you and I had developed a relationship for about a year, I think, and working with TLU students. You were still graduating from that, and then you were going between two or three proposals to take a certain job, and we prayed over that, and you were able to land one with Price Waterhouse, and they just so happened to be in Houston. And so we connected you with Pastor Robert and Powerhouse Church, and you began to flourish there because you planted right there. Tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, it's so important to be planted, right? I think I've heard you teach me that a seed planted in the wrong environment will never grow.
Hmm.
And so, man, Powerhouse Church has been a huge blessing to me. It's really the place where I got discipled. I mean, I think I knew of God, but I didn't know God the way that I didn't think I could know him, right? And yeah, I think you and I have known each other for a decade now, right? Like 2017 or ending of 2016. So now I'm grateful and yeah.
Well, things. This is kind of going to be the way it goes for the whole week of the Father's Day week. Um, People are going to learn things that they didn't know about the church, about you, about the Pastor Robert, and I think those are times where we tighten up our bonding. You know,
Yeah.
intimacy is one way of increasing faith.
Yeah.
You really only have faith in God to the degree you know God.
That's right.
And so when I took you, I was still living in New Braunfels, but you were moving to Katy,
Yeah.
and but I had established, or the Lord had established, a great foundation in Powerhouse Church and Pastor Robert. So I knew that when I handed you off to him, it was handing you off to someone that I'd been discipling for 20 years, or 20
Yeah.
plus years. And I knew that you would get the same thing I was getting. Plus, you still had me by phone, and
Yeah.
then we would meet periodically. But a lot of people don't understand discipleship in that way. You want to explain that just a little bit on how I could feel confident, and obviously it's worked. And I want them to hear more about what's going on with you. But just kind of expand upon how should everybody be lined up? Why shouldn't everybody be lined up with discipleship processes?
No, that's so true. So just kind of give you some background. We still hang out. We just had lunch on Sunday. So
Right.
you didn't hand me off. You still have your eye on me.
Yeah.
You kind of inspect. So I think you said something that's so true is that you will only have faith in God as much as you know him. And I think you taught me that rules without relationship will always lead to rebellion.
Hmm.
And I think I had a desire to know God, to serve God, but I didn't know how. And being in Katy and going to Powerhouse taught me how to get really rooted in the Word and rooted in the body.
Mm.
A lot of people try to be, individual. It's just me and God, but that's not what. I don't see a hand floating around by itself. It don't work without a torso, a head, nose, mouth, oxygen in the lungs. That's not how it works. You need to be plugged in, right?
Right.
And so being a part of Powerhouse, man, I got into the process of discipleship. God didn't call us to make converts, he called us to make disciples. And then I knew that if I wanted to be able to make disciples, I first had to be one myself.
Right.
Because you teach what you know, but you'll always reproduce who you are.
That's right.
And so I needed to become something different. And being under Pastor Robert's leadership, submitting under his vision has really brought something to life in me. There's a scripture in Luke that he who is faithful with another man's vision will be qualified to have his own. And so, what I learned at Powerhouse is really how to be a son of God and how to be a mentee to someone who has done great things before. You see discipleship in the Old Testament and New Testament, they go hand in hand. You see an older gentleman who's had a few more years in the Lord and a younger man who's had just a few years in the Lord come together and grow together. I think about Moses and Joshua, right? In Joshua, it says that as the Lord commanded Moses, Moses commanded Joshua, and Joshua left nothing undone that God had commanded Moses. So what does that tell me is that Joshua was never focused on his own calling. He was focused on the calling that Moses had over his life. And then Joshua became one of the leaders that actually took him to the promised land. And so you think about Barnabas and Paul. When Saul became Paul and he got converted into the Christian faith, when he went back to the church and people were doubtful of who he was because he used to persecute the church, his covering Barnabas spoke and he's like, hey, this guy, he's the real deal. And because of that, oh, pardon me.